This soldier saw human heads everywhere on tables in Southwest Africa. Let's get into it. But before we get into this video, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure you comment down below what I should react to next. Share this video with a friend. And be sure to follow me on Instagram. That link is in the description as well. Now let's get into it.
He was a genocidal freak. All of a sudden, started killing his own people. So he killed about 180,000 of his own people that year. This was a 14-year civil war. The ground, the pavement, is all 7.62 by 39 brass. There's no pavement. It's brass everywhere you go in the streets. Just constant gunfights. Seeing true death and true just heads on tables everywhere in the markets.
Human heads?
Oh yeah, piles of bodies.
Why were there human heads on tables?
Cannibalism. It's voodoo, man.
Cannibalism?
It's West Africa. It is like hardcore.
Do you see that happening?
Every day. So when a country has a problem, an embassy goes bad, or Afghanistan with the Abbey Gate, that was the 26th Marine Expeditionary Unit. They call in to go and help. Like I think Tyler Vargas, you had Tyler on your show. He was on the MEU that went into Afghanistan and got in that shit with Abbey Gate.
Do you know Tyler?
Oh yeah. Had him on the podcast and everything.
What a fucking awesome human being.
I think I might have been the first podcast he did was with me.
Damn, I love that dude.
Yeah, he's incredible. Resilient, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I learned a lot from him. So we got the 911 to go into Liberia after that. And Liberia was, of course, we were disappointed at first. Like, come on, man, we just want to go home. And so it's like, nope, your asses are going in. Figure out what's going on. This was a 14-year civil war. Charles Taylor, the president of the country, very highly educated, U.S. educated guy. He was on just a murderous. He was a genocidal freak. All of a sudden, started killing his own people. So he killed about 180,000 of his own people that year with his corrupt government forces. So now you have Sierra Leone and a couple of other countries that created rebel groups like the Lurid rebels. They would come down from Sierra Leone and fight against the government. So now you have these corrupt government guys fighting against rebels, trying to overthrow the corrupt government. And guess who's in the middle getting killed? All the innocent people in the country. That was probably one of my most eye-opening experiences culturally. You know, like again, being worldly traveled, seeing true death and true just heads on tables everywhere in the markets.
Human heads?
Oh yeah, piles of bodies.
Why were there human heads on tables?
Cannibalism. It's voodoo, man.
Cannibalism?
It's West Africa. It is like hardcore.
Do you see that happening?
Every day.
You see humans eating humans.
If you type in rebels of Liberia, West Africa, you will see crazy people with wigs and weird glasses and wearing women's dresses and life preservers, and they're out there shooting with AKs and RPGs, kind of Lord of War. Remember the movie Lord of War with Nicolas Cage? That is Liberia. And so the ground, the pavement, is men's dresses and life preservers, and they're out there shooting with AKs. Been rebels of Liberia, West Africa, you will see crazy people with wigs and weird glasses and wearing women's dresses and life preservers, and they're out there shooting with AKs and RPGs, kind of Lord of War. Remember the movie Lord of War with Nicolas Cage? That is Liberia. And so the ground, the pavement, is all 7.62 by 39 brass. There's no pavement. It's brass everywhere you go in the streets. Just constant gunfights. And
we would hold on.
Eventually,
we gotta.
This is a sound war that nobody never heard about.
Hey, Ryan, like, hold on.
I've never heard about it. What? We would hold on.
Eventually,
we gotta.
This is a sound war that nobody never heard about.
I've never heard about it. What is it? I mean, you saw fucking cannibalism?
Yeah.
What? I mean, just describe that in detail the first time you saw it, or anything.
So this is the weird part about this country. You have people that are just trying to survive and live like almost normal people, like just normal great people. I love is a word that's might even describe how I feel towards the Liberian people. Like there was kids I wanted to adopt and bring home with me. Man, it was crazy experience. I don't know if that was the same for other guys on my team, but I really immerse myself in places that I go, and sometimes too much. if you've ever seen, what's a good movie? Tears of the Sun with Bruce Willis, the Navy SEAL team that goes into Cameroon. And there's piles of bodies and the stench and everything, very, very similar. The Nigerians are there whacking and killing people, even though they're supposed to be a friendly peacekeeping force for the African ECOWAS or ECOMIL forces, which are their kind of small NATO. So in the continent of Africa, if something goes high order, like something blows up, they will not call NATO in right away. They'll call ECOWAS, which I forget what ECOWAS is, but African nations come together and they then determine, does military action need to happen here? And then if it does, they'll say, okay, ECOMIL, military side, let's get Ghana, Senegalese, Ivory Coast, Cameroon, Nigeria. You guys can bring in a contingent of armed forces and help secure this country and stop the civil war before we need to get bigger people involved. So that's the level this was at. So United Nations, everybody's watching this. Our job was to go in and do a hydrographic survey of the port facility and White's Beach down by the embassy, so we could determine if we can land hovercrafts, Amtraks, you name it, and send the BLT in to stop. Rumsfeld and Bush at the time needed to get more SA, so they send us and SEAL Team 4 in. You know Rourke, Lieutenant Rourke, Denver Rourke. He was the platoon leader for SEAL Team 4 at the time, and now is in the acting world, I think. He played himself in Act of Valor, the movie. Okay. So he was Lieutenant Rourke in Act of Valor. And so I know he's done a couple other films. Well, he was the platoon leader there. And Rob O'Neill was in that team as well. They hit the beach. We hit the port facility. I know they were a little upset about that because we won the mission planning on the port facility, which was a 2,000-meter surface swim. We were trying to go subsurface, but we couldn't because of the amount of intel, because I was one of the intel guys on the team pulling all the information from S2. There was like 3 ships laying on their sides in the port, bodies floating in the water, active gunfights going on the port facility while we're doing a hydrographic survey. And so what happens is we're back done. Recon's done. We're back on the beach. Or I'm sorry, back on the boat. And about 5 a.m., if I remember right, we hear launch QRF over the 1MC on the boat, the intercom. It's called 1MC. And so Cobras and 46s took off because something happened. One of the team guys I heard, and I'm sure I'd love to hear the story if anybody knows it. I know it's probably embarrassing for those guys, but somebody said that one of the guys got cramps so bad from drinking the night before on the boat, they couldn't get through the surf zone, and they brought boats in. They brought the ribs up to grab them and throw them in. And Liberian fishermen were coming out that morning and identified, now we're over the horizon, man. We're not supposed to be there. It's a clandestine operation. And if you look up Navy SEALs in Liberia, you'll see Rob O'Neill and all his guys and Rourke on the beach holding like 1,000 Liberians back, going, stay back, stay back. And they're like, Americans, you're here, you're here, you're here. So there was a compromise. And then they get back to the boat, and General Turner's like, you guys can go back to Sigonella. We don't need you here anymore. Thank you. Now we have to change the entire mission. So they send us back in as a liaison team to work with the ECOMIL forces to try to stop this civil war by running checkpoints and telling the Nigerian NIBAC commanders, hey, this is what you're going to do, this is what you're not going to do. Then we go sit and grab the alert rebels, and we'd say, hey, sit your ass down. You are not a general, even though you call yourself that, because, these little skinny crackheads, like when I say crackheads, like crack was extremely bad, heroin was bad, they're constantly chewing cot. And you're telling them, like, hey, stop shooting at civilians. If I catch you shooting at civilians, you're going to die. Do you understand that? You see that loud, that thumping noise that flies over every once in a while? We will have no problem, no hesitation blowing your ass up if you're firing a rocket on a bridge across the street into the market. You will stop beating people and stealing their cars. You will stop treating people like shit. And so every night we'd have these meetings at their bars. We'd walk in and be like, hey, sit down. All right, what can we do? And we single-handedly, and I say this not out of being egotistical or narcissist or anything, but we stopped a 14-year civil war in just a couple of months by moving as fast as we did as 3 recon teams throughout that country.
No matter where you're watching, Sean.
Hey, that's awesome. I ain't gonna lie. Things like that need to be done as far as like using American force You know what I'm saying? To help other countries. Why? If they did that in Liberia, why don't they do that in Mexico and Honduras and, you know, these other third world countries where they're literally just mutilating people and killing people, especially the cartels? I wonder why that is. Well, I'm pretty sure the answer to that is money, because how much money comes across that border. Appreciate you guys for watching. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. I'm going to catch you on the next video. I'm gone.